Hello everybody, and welcome back to Vampyr. Last time we defeated a skull or something named Sean Bishop. And now Edward Swansea has allowed us to walk in his hospital. And as you can see, we got some new drip, and our man Jonathan is looking good. So yeah, this is where we at. I took a small break,
locked, all right.
mainly to learn how to edit properly. So, you know, there's been a little time jump.
It's okay, Jonathan. I'll see you later.
You say so. So yeah.
You bastard! You can do better than that! Nah, it's my turn!
Rotten or crusty, each heart contains the seed of life. Drink at this river, try it all.
So.
Master gave me a good poke.
Oh yeah, can tell.
Oh, come on, you bastard! I won't bite.
Sir, please. You've lost too much blood. Calm
Oh
yourself.
man.
You think I didn't notice? Stop your staring and get me to an hospital, you arse!
Insulting a good Samaritan. Not exactly the way to get rescued.
Alright, sorry. I am in pain here. My guts are spilling out onto the street and you're yabbering on.
Yes. That's a very nasty wound you've got there. Take my word, I am a doctor. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Ah, yes, of course.
Name's Clay Cox. I'd appreciate you helping me to a better place, Doc.
Follow me, Mr. Cox. Let me assist you to that better place.
Blood quality indicates how much XP you will obtain from a particular citizen. The higher the blood quality, the more XP you get. To drink the blood of your prey, you first need to mesmerize them to lead them out of sight from others. Your mesmerized level must be equal or higher than the citizen's resistance. Well, he's healthy. Am I giving a show?
Bring this fading light into the
Follow the red trail
dance
to lead your brain to the
dance
shadows.
of life and death.
Press A to embrace Clay Cox, or B to release him. Embracing Clay will provide a massive XP boost, but be aware that there will be consequences. Learning more about citizens and collecting their hands will increase the experience gained.
No more. Not tonight. Not
Merciful
like this.
release.
I will not take another life.
Are you just gonna... Wouldn't your gut spilling out?
What? What happened? Whoa, I feel giddy.
I guess his guts weren't spilling out.
It is wise for the huntsman to sometimes let his prey go. But no famished hunter can run for long.
Yeah, whatever. I'm gonna try to be a good Samaritan and only eat people that I don't like. You got that voice in my head? You got that? I hope you did. Because if you didn't, oh well. Not much of my issue. I've always said I would help him out, but I just kind of let him to a dark alley.
Good evening, nurse. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed, the new surgeon here at the Pembroke.
Dr. Swansea has already told us about you, sir.
Swansea.
I'm Nurse Gwyneth Brannigan. Welcome to the Pembroke Hospital.
Did he really? It's a good thing I wasn't hoping to keep a low profile.
All members of staff have already read about your new blood transfusion technique.
Of course they have.
Dr. Swansea made sure of that.
I see. Well, I'm a little surprised, but I suppose I'll just have to deal with this unexpected notoriety.
Ah,
You
it's
must know,
fine.
blood transfusions are Dr. Swansea's primary subject of research. He is convinced it is the future.
I do like how the gobs look like. Like, I know it's very like old-fashioned, but I think it works out. Ah.
How are things here?
Not good, to say the least. We're struggling against an invisible enemy, more lethal than any bullet from a gun. It's hard, Doctor.
Yeah, tell me
An
more about the
invisible enemy.
invisible enemy. Is this the
What a poetic
boogeyman?
term for a disease, especially from a nurse.
Sorry, Doctor. These last few weeks have been exhausting. We could all do with a good night's sleep.
I'm sorry, Via, that was me taking my water
Do you
bottle.
think this hospital can survive?
Gotta keep my throat,
We
you
are
know,
all
hydrated or
volunteers.
whatever.
And we're trying to hold fast, but how do we beat an invisible killer? Some nurses have already resigned.
I'm not familiar with all the staff yet. Perhaps you could help me.
Brilliant professionals, most of them. Dr. Swansea has a gift for recruiting talent.
Most of them. Is there a problem I should know about, nurse?
It would be inappropriate for me to speak ill of a colleague.
Is there anyone that stands out?
Well, I have never met someone as dedicated as Dr. Tippett's. He should be a standard for us all here. If only he were younger.
Oh no.
Why should his age be a problem?
I guess it's fair to say he's always pushing himself to the limits. He just doesn't know when to stop and get some rest.
Fair enough. Depends. Kokoran is exhausting himself and refuses to stop walking. Interesting.
Nurse Brannigan, if you do know something, please tell me. Anything you say will be held in confidence.
No, I may disagree with some conduct, but in the end, everybody is doing
Yeah,
their best.
fair enough. Thank you. Ah, well. I hand required. Ah, okay.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Doctor, where have you been? I've little time to play hide and seek with new staff members, no matter how illustrious they may be.
I found a wounded man by the docks. He answers to the name of Clay Cox. He requires urgent medical attention.
Already making the rounds? That's the Pembroke spirit. I'll ask our porter, Milton, to bring him back immediately.
Okay.
Thank you, nurse. What can I do for you?
Dr. Swansea insisted we provide you a quiet office. You'll find it on the second floor with your name on the
Second
door.
floor. Okay. Already? With my...
Nurse Crane, isn't it?
Yes, Dorothy Crane. Welcome to Pembroke Hospital, Dr. Reed. Your office has been prepared.
Interesting.
I would like to ask a few questions first. What kind of man is Dr. Swansea?
Well, you accepted the job from him. I thought you would have known about your employer.
Ah, well, yeah, I've just met him.
Apologies, I've only just met him the once. This is sudden. I've only just returned to England.
Dr. Swansea is a brilliant surgeon and the most compassionate physician.
I can tell.
It's
I
right
like.
to assume Dr.
he's a
Swansea
great
knows
guy from
far
what I
more
can
about
tell.
me than I do about him.
You'll get to know him soon enough, and better than me. The administrator has better things to do than mix with us.
And Mr. Hampton, the patient we brought in, how does he fare?
I gave him a sedative to help him sleep. Poor thing was in quite a state of shock.
I can imagine that
If
dude
you
was
could point me
buried
in the
alive.
direction of my room again, nurse.
Second floor of the hospital, left after the stairs. It's the last vacant office at the end of the corridor.
Thank you, nurse.
Thank you, Nurse Crane.
You're wonderful. That's a fancy place. Hello. Oh, more people to talk to. I'm sorry
evening,
if, you
Doctor.
if this is
I don't think we've
annoying,
been
but
introduced yet.
I kind of
My
want to
name
get
is
to know
Pepper
more people, you know?
Hawkins.
And I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. Dr. Swansea has recently offered me a position in this hospital.
Well, it's a euphemism that your help will be appreciated, Doctor.
How would you describe the situation at the Pembroke Hospital?
It's serious. The flu is wreaking havoc amongst the staff and patients.
Oh,
We are
staff
running
too.
out of everything.
Okay.
You must get a hold of yourself, nurse.
Sorry, I'm exhausted. No one has any idea when this epidemic will be over.
Nurse Hawkins, the Spanish flu won't last forever. Even the Black Plague didn't kill everyone.
I wish I could believe you. But what if this epidemic was worse?
Trust me, the Spanish flu
What
isn't
if in
worse.
the end, nobody was spared?
Ah, calm down.
How long have you been a nurse?
Or long enough to see that the epidemic is winning. And no matter how qualified you are, don't tell me you'll change that.
You'd be surprised what dedication can achieve, Nurse Hawkins. In medicine, sometimes we're just a test result away from a miracle.
Sorry, Doctor. I don't want to sound bitter, but I'm just too tired to give a pep talk like Nurse Brannigan.
Okay.
How is the Pembroke staff coping with the epidemic?
Well, not well. Milton, the ambulance driver, is even more grumpy than usual, especially concerning doctors.
Why is he so grumpy?
Milton
Tell me.
on a daily basis? Is it just an act?
Milton's not the kind of man who's bothered about a bad reputation, whether he deserved it or not.
Interesting.
Why does Milton dislike doctors?
I don't know. Just ask him. But be warned, Milton is not the chatty type.
Thank you for the warning. Any personal questions? Nope. Thank you for
Goodbye,
your
Nurse Hawkins.
time. Wasn't there one more guy? Must have run off. No, don't look on her. Just looking around. Don't mind me, laddie. Sorry. Oh. Hospital full. Due to the influenza, this hospital can no longer take any patients. Hospital full. Please go back home. That's depressing. Are you Milton?
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'm new here.
I've already heard about you, Dr. Reed. I'm Milton Hooks, the ambulance driver for this shithole of a hospital.
That's quite a blunt
Oh.
introduction, Mr.
Okay.
Hooks.
You can call me Milton. I like to speak my mind, Dr. Reed. Perk of the job. Don't judge me, and I won't judge you.
I'm not sure I understand what you're talking about.
Well, I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure a gun can't be used as a surgical instrument.
You have a keen eye. I learned to shoot during the war and have carried one ever since. Old habits die hard.
No need to explain, Dr. Reed. And if you ever need a better gun, remember, I may have something for you.
Oh. Trade? Have it later. Smuggling
Are you really
weapons.
smuggling weapons through the hospital?
And why not? I've already been attacked by patients, you know. And by gang members willing to steal my money.
But you're not defending yourself. You're selling guns to civilians.
You keep people alive your own way, Doctor. I offer them another way to protect their health.
Fair
How is
enough.
the situation around here?
You want to hear the situation is all right? It's fucking awful. We lack everything. And it's getting worse every day.
So what do you do exactly in this hospital?
Okay.
Apart from smuggling guns, I mean.
I've been an ambulance driver since... too long, I guess. I bring sick people here night and day. It's a dirty job, but I get it done. Most of the time.
How is the sanitary
Since you're on the
situation?
front line, how is the sanitary situation in this vicinity?
It's a complete disaster. It's even getting dangerous to enter some streets or buildings. Even the locals attack you.
Okay.
It sounds like things have been a bit rough recently. What's happened?
Yesterday I got attacked by the patient I was bringing here. I escaped through the hospital's garden, but I lost my wallet when I was running.
You left an infected patient outside the hospital. That's incredibly dangerous.
Go there yourself if you want, but be careful, Doctor. I'd rather not bring your dead body back.
A new citizen investigation is available. Press tab to open the local investigation menu. I will. Okay, you can start a new citizen quest by tracking it with X. Then accept access to your map to locate the area to explore. Milton Hooks, the Pembroke's ambulance driver, confessed a patient he was bringing to the hospital attacked him. He had to escape through the facility's gardens, but lost his wallet while doing so. The attacker must have been quite violent, for Milton refuses to return there anymore. Maybe I should search the garden and see for myself what is really going on there.
Why do you have such a mediocre reputation among your colleagues, Milton?
Fuck them. Nobody knows the horrors I've seen since working here.
Yeah.
This city was sick long before the epidemic.
Being an ambulance driver can be fucking horrible.
It's a difficult task, but correct me if I'm wrong. Is this not the job you are paid to do?
I've seen babies left to die while their brothers were properly fed. Underage girls and boys sold to all manner of perverts.
I'm sorry, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, exactly. We lack words. So excuse me if I don't look on the bright side of life.
I don't blame you. Any personal questions? No. Let's raid.
I'd like to see your goods.
Okay,
Wise
I am
choice,
curious.
Dr. Reed. A reliable gun is what everybody needs these days.
Ah, interesting. Milton shotgun. Okay, I'll hold off for now. Interesting. Oh no, who are you? Oh, you're the overworked guy, aren't you?
Good evening, sir.
So it is true. The famous Dr. Reed has joined us. I can't think of any better news during these terrible times.
Do we know each other?
Actually, yes. We met once before, at the Rockefeller University.
Man, Jonathan
in
is
New
so
York.
fucking
Dr.
tall.
Tippett, yes, I remember. I
Man.
was assisting Professor Carell in his research about coronary bypasses. He had nothing but praise for you.
He was also very confident about your future. And look at you now. Eminent surgeon and blood transfusion specialist.
Well, let's see.
You're exhausting yourself, Corcoran. Maybe you should think about preserving your strength.
No. We must keep on healing all those poor souls. We are the last rampart before chaos. Once more unto the breach.
Okay.
You've nothing to prove, Dr. Tippett, to anybody. And we all praise your experience. Please, have some rest.
I am perfectly fine, and I am not too old for this job.
I mean, my
What is the
man.
Pembroke Hospital situation?
Just
And
looking
please,
out for you.
Speak freely.
This hospital is not exactly the best of London. I'm sure you are used to working in a better environment.
It's more than enough. In any
Okay.
case, the personnel of a hospital are much more important to me than the building.
Don't be misled by appearances, Dr. Reed. This hospital does not lack talented people. It just lacks hope.
That's a bit grim.
What can you tell me about the staff in the hospital?
Some are really good, and others are not so good. But during this troubled period, there is no time for slander. I prefer to focus on the positive character traits.
Positive?
Tell me more about cherished people, then.
Nurse Brannigan is a pearl. She is the most helpful and dedicated nurse I've ever worked with. A clever and cheerful woman.
You really seem to admire her skills.
I'll go even further. If she was a man, she would be a damn fine practitioner.
Oh, okay.
Any opinion
Getting
about the
spicy?
management?
I don't always agree with Dr. Swansea's reserve, but I must admit he does all he can to keep this facility running during this crisis.
Ah, yes, the burden of command. I was fed up with this concept while serving as a medical officer.
Don't get me wrong. Swansea's a good administrator. I just wish he would get out of his office now and again.
Okay. Interesting. No personal questions, yep.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett.
Okay. That's a lot of just, you know, getting to know the people and stuff like that. Which is fine. Nothing wrong with that. Your city needs you. City. You. Life saved by efficient medical aid is a blow struck at the blank of the flu epidemic. Volunteers make the difference. I'm sure they do.
Dr. Swansea is right. This place seems perfect to conduct my research.
Do I know you? I don't want to click on
Good
you if I
evening,
don't know
Nurse
you.
Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Well, I haven't really
Goodbye.
learned anything about her, so it doesn't really matter.
Damn. The pain.
Oh, you look
Good
pale.
evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon at the Pembroke Hospital. And who are you?
Your name has no meaning to me, mortal. You're nothing but dust blown by the winds of eternity.
I beg your pardon.
What are you begging for, mortal? My clemency? Well, tonight maybe I'm inclined to mercy. You'll never forget the night you met Thelma Howcroft.
You keep calling me mortal. Why is that? And if I'm mortal, what are you?
Well, Dr. Reed, if you must know, I'm a vampire.
Who are you really, Miss Howcroft? I mean, apart from being a vampire.
Is that not enough for you, puny mortal? What do you require?
Oh, she's delusional.
Proof of my powers?
I'm curious to know who you were before becoming a vampire.
It was such a long time ago, I don't remember. Centuries of unholy life can have strange effects on one's minds, you see?
You say so.
And why do you believe you're a vampire?
I don't need to believe anything. It is what I am. It is what I feel within this hollow shell of flesh.
Okay.
Please, describe to me how you feel. What is it like to be a vampire?
I can hear my body crumble from the inside as my flesh cracks and fades. I sense the last pulse of postulant blood within my drying veins. I need new blood.
I see. Have you ever heard of Cotard's syndrome, Miss Howcroft?
Never.
It's a mental
I haven't.
illness discovered by a French neurologist named Jules Cotard. The affected patients are delusional. They believe that they are putrefying, that they are dead, a ghost or a ghoul, or in your case, a vampire.
Delusional, you say? Oh, sad and petty mortal. You can't even begin to understand the concept of immortality. And you think it is I who am delusional.
Oof, oof, oof.
I'm assuming you must be a patient here. Am I right, Miss Howcroft?
It's only a cover. To hide from my enemies. I can leave whenever I want. As a woman, a spirit, fog, or bat.
Of course, of course. Who are your enemies? Tell me, please. I wonder.
Can you describe them?
I cannot say for sure. But I sense their eyes on me from nearby. I feel them watching me every time I visit the garden near the morgue.
The staff here are not your enemy. They're here to help you, to care for you.
I'm not speaking of the doctors in white. I'm speaking of the men and women who hunt me. For I am a vampire.
I see. Don't worry. These people will
Man,
not follow you.
she's a
I'll
nutcase.
personally make sure they leave you alone.
Thank you, mortal. But do not interfere with them, for you are no match for those that hunt me.
If you say so.
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark. to your nocturnal activities.
What your last thoughts would be, sir.
Okay, who
Good
are
evening,
you?
sir. Can I help you?
Unless
Oh,
you're
his
here to
face is
fix
fucked
my
up.
face. No. I don't think you can help me.
I'm Dr. Reed. I've recently taken the position of head surgeon here. War injuries, am I right?
You guessed right, Doctor. German shell took my pretty little mug right off.
Oof.
But they
Poor
still
guy.
call me Thomas Elwood.
How is your stay with us, Mr. Elwood?
Oh, it's bliss. I just escaped death in the trenches to be surrounded again by the moans of the dying.
Can I ask you precisely why you're a patient here?
It's the pain, sir. The drugs don't work. It just hurts under the scars, if you get my drift.
Can I do anything for your pain?
Nurses gave me a bunch of pills. No effect. Told you. It's like the flames are under my skin, burning away.
I wonder.
Who is treating you? Is someone in particular looking after your case?
Nobody since the old and tired doctor spoke to me. Started to think I was forgotten about. Wouldn't blame you.
You don't seem worried by that.
My face hurts so much more when I smile or cry. I've learned it's easier not to speak. But be assured I'm smiling inside.
If you say so. I do wanna see.
Where were you stationed, sir? Did you serve?
I'm sorry that this is
really
dialogue heavy,
don't
but
wanna
like
talk
I like
about all
dialogue
this
stuff.
shit.
No offense. I was pushing too much. I served in France myself. I just wanted to know what happened to you.
You were an officer, weren't you? Then I doubt we fought the same war, sir. No offense.
How
I'm
close
thinking.
are you to Miss Hallcroft? Are you aware that she thinks she is a vampire?
To wait for her next nibble is the best reason to stay here. Every time she approaches my bed, she treats me like something tasty. A normal person.
Aren't you afraid? She may hurt you if the game goes too far.
She's quite harmless, I can assure you. Her head's broken inside is all. While I'm busted on the outside. But she's still beautiful.
Oh,
Living
okay.
proof that there's hope for me.
So do you let her bite you? You know that's not sanitary.
And why not? She's only supping a few drops of me blood. And the pain, it's real for once.
She could decide to bite less willing patients.
Then it's another good reason for me to stay here, Doctor.
You do realize she's mentally disturbed.
He's taking one for the
It's
team.
called the Cotard syndrome. She truly believes she's a vampire.
In her madness, she never refers to my scars. And frankly, if I could, I'd join her world.
Oh man, that's a
It
bit.
seems much more fun than the real one.
Oh, okay.
Goodbye
Thank you.
for now, Mr. Elwood.
Thank you, Mr. Elwood. Okay.
Good evening, Mr. Hampton. How do you feel?
Oh yeah,
Dr. Reed, is it?
Sean.
Sir, I must apologize for my behavior.
What do you mean?
I was not myself in the factory. Fear and exhaustion made me say awful things to you, I'm afraid.
You remained perfectly nice and polite.
I don't
A
remember
little
you saying
delirious,
anything
perhaps.
bad.
But who wouldn't be after enduring an abduction?
Thank you, Doctor. That's a relief. Now all I need to do is rest and return to my flock.
Do you know Tom Watts, the bartender from the Turtle? I met him before I found you in the canning factory.
Tom? Yes, of course. Always the helping hand, good old Tom. Without men like him, corruption and despair would have wiped out the East End long ago.
Oh, I'm
Who
aware
should
with
I
this
avoid
bear.
in this part of town, then? Any particularly evil figures?
Not really. Most men and women are just doing their best. And it's not my habit to speak ill of people I know, Doctor.
People
Okay.
are still in despair.
How could it be otherwise? The authorities have left us all to rot in this contagious nightmare. No drugs, no advice, nothing. It's a damn shame.
How did you end up in William Bishop's den?
I had received alarming news about his recent behavior. I went to his place and he refused to let me go.
Why did he abduct you?
William was an alcoholic. His addiction suddenly changed to blood. I don't know why. Just like a patient I met here. This Miss Hawcroft.
You dared to enter this awful place alone. You're a hero, Mr. Hampton. Or a fool.
I'm just a man trying to help his friends, Dr. Reed. William Bishop was a conflicted soul, searching for light.
Oh boy.
What is the general situation in the East End docks?
The situation has always been tough, with a lot of tensions between the gangs and the dockers' trade union. The wet boot boys are very nervous since they lost their leader.
Who leads the gang now?
Since Clay Cox went missing, it's his wife Edwina who runs the show.
Right.
With the assistance of her minion, Booth Digby.
Has the gang been threatening you?
Ah, no. I've had this nickname for so long. You know, the sad saint of the East End. No one dares to bug a saint. Not even criminals.
Okay.
How do you feel, Mr. Hampton? Medically speaking, I mean.
I feel exhausted. Beyond exhaustion, actually. William drank so much of my blood in his madness. I feel empty.
You're in good hands here. Dr. Swansea is well versed in blood transfusion, and I'm sure he'll take the best care of you.
Yep, he will.
I believe all I need is rest. And then I can go back to the people who need me.
What do you do for a living, Mr. Hampton? I can't help but notice the cross around your neck.
I manage a night asylum for the poor and homeless of the docks. And I try to guide the lost and hesitant on the right path to our Lord.
Are you a priest?
Are you a priest,
That's a fair question.
A deacon, maybe?
Not at all, Doctor. I'm just a man of faith willing to preach the good word.
Why didn't you use your cross against William Bishop? To repel him somehow?
That's a very strange question, Doctor. A cross is no magical token, if that's what you were trying to say. Not mine anyway.
Interesting. Jonathan is trying to poke at specific things, specific topics.
Not really. But I recognize Miss Harriet Jones. I knew her when she lived by the docks. That poor woman had such a miserable life.
You never came to see her here at Pembroke? Receiving visits.
I guess this episode is just gonna be us getting to know the hospital people.
We're not just bodies.
You're preaching to the converted now, Doctor. To be truly honest, I thought she was dead. She left the docks many months ago.
Goodbye, Mr. Hampton. We'll talk again later.
It's locked.
Interesting. Okay. Yes, I do know you.
We may lack the resources, but we have some of the most brilliant minds.
I'm sorry if this is taking too
Good
long, but
evening,
I just want to get to know people,
I
you know?
believe we're going to be working together.
Dr. Reed. Dr. Swansea informed us of your arrival, but I could not dare to believe we'd have such good fortune. Such an honor, sir.
Thank you. And you are?
I am Thoreau Strickland, Dr. Thoreau Strickland. I'm a great admirer of your work, Dr. Reed.
Everyone is, it seems like.
Please, could you tell me something about yourself?
I'm a great admirer of your work concerning blood transfusion, Dr. Reed. I run my own experiments. I'm convinced it's the future.
Good.
What made you choose to be a doctor?
I'm not ashamed to admit
I like
you
an
and your
ambitious
work
guy.
have inspired me. I am honored to have the opportunity to work by your side.
It's always a pleasure to share scientific and medical knowledge with someone eager to learn. I'll be glad to help you if I can.
This epidemic may be the century's most terrible disaster, but I'm convinced that we, as doctors, are the only ones able to defeat it.
I mean, that's
I based
usually
my
the case,
technique
yeah.
on my mentor's research. He helped me perfect my method. What is yours?
I'd rather not talk about it. For now, it's just theories and first approach. My process is purely experimental and unsuccessful.
As long as you're cautious and methodical, you may remain empty-handed, but you won't fail.
You're not the first one to warn me, but I am convinced knowledge is the main weapon against the ravages of this epidemic.
Interesting. Okay.
What can you tell me about the Pembroke?
Well, it has always been an honor to work with Dr. Swansea. But with your arrival, I can't think of a better opportunity to learn about blood transfusion.
You
Very
seem quite
optimistic.
It's a rare and precious attitude in these difficult times.
I'm convinced that this epidemic is a test of endurance and dedication for us men of science.
Questions remain about our capacity to resolve the situation.
True. Last summer, during the first wave of the epidemic, I used to joke with Milton about the extra work. We're not smiling now.
Yeah, I can
Do
tell.
you need help with anything in particular?
Well, yes, maybe. I'm waiting for a batch of products I ordered for my personal research, yet my supplier seems to have vanished.
Do you want me to play the errand boy for you?
Oh no, Dr. Reed. But if you went personally to his shop, what with your reputation and all, he wouldn't dare to refuse the products I need.
I see. Well, give me the address, for I may pass by if I have time.
Okay, interesting.
Tell me more about your willingness to experiment with new medical techniques.
Harvey Fiddick is a patient suffering from a severe injury that could cripple him if not treated correctly. I'm convinced your blood transfusion technique could help him.
What is it you really want? To save him, or to prove your point?
Fair question. I want nothing but to save my patient,
Good.
Dr. Reed. Especially since I know Mr. Fiddick's story.
Okay.
Tell me Mr. Fiddick's story.
Our first diagnosis was compromised because Mr. Fiddick lied to us about the real origin of his injury. He first claimed it was an accident.
But why would he hide such crucial information from us?
Because he is a proud father, ashamed of putting his children at risk because of his own negligence.
Ah, okay.
This personal involvement could also appear to be a lack of impartiality. You must know that a good surgeon must remain neutral.
I agree. But that does not excuse Dr. Ackroyd's behavior, a man who did not even take time to converse with his patient.
Do you think keeping his distance was a mistake?
All I know is that I'm taking care of human beings with desires, hopes, and fears. Not some biological machine comprised of blood, bones, and flesh.
Interesting. Okay.
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
Hello, nurse.
I cannot enter.
You must be Fiddick.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. May I help you?
I don't know if a third opinion is needed. Your colleagues are already arguing about my condition.
I see. Would you mind telling me more about your situation?
I'm Harvey Fiddick. All I want is to get me bloody arm fixed properly.
Are you satisfied with your treatment here?
Well, it's clear that I've chosen a bad time to be injured. Forgive my bluntness, but you seem overwhelmed by cases of the flu.
I won't lie to you about it. I'm afraid we are.
Are you sure you don't want to operate yourself, Dr. Reed? I have the feeling you're very capable. And your colleagues seem to think so too.
In other circumstances, you would be right. But for now, I don't think I can take on the responsibility. My apologies.
Yeah.
Tell me about yourself.
First day after all.
I'm just a
Well,
regular
first
guy
night.
waiting to get his arm fixed, so I can return to work and to my family.
I was more curious about what you were doing before being hospitalized.
I'm a carpenter, and a good one too. But that means I need both arms to feed my family, Dr. Reed.
Okay.
Tell me about the doctors who are arguing about your case.
Strickland and Ackroyd. They both want the best for me, but there's a lot of pride there. Doctors are no different from carpenters, it seems.
What do you mean?
I often had professional arguments with rivals on a building site. Difference is I disagreed about wooden nails, not flesh and bones.
Well, you know, it's all relative.
Tell me about your injury, Harvey. Why do you feel so guilty about it?
My wife died because of me. And now I may lose everything because I've been careless enough to hurt myself. What an arsehole.
How could your job be responsible for your wife's death?
I was working a double. She went out to bring me a hot meal and got caught in a German bomb raid.
Oh no!
You can't hold yourself responsible for your injury, Mr. Fiddick. Unless you tried to hurt yourself.
Of course I didn't hurt myself. But I can't work until my arm is fixed. My children need to eat, Doctor.
Poor guy, holy shit.
Tell me more about the death of your wife, Harvey.
1915. I was in the army. Building workshops for the Royal Flying Corps. Helen was happy I wasn't sent to the front.
What happened?
The Germans sent Zeppelins to bomb the construction site, but they missed their target. My wife was bringing my dinner when the bombs fell.
Yikes.
I'm sorry for your loss. So many died during the bombings. I served in France and witnessed the carnage there.
I would like to say that she didn't suffer. Truth is, I have no idea.
Yeah.
I just know that I'm all that me kids have. Poor little bleeders.
How are your children after losing their mother?
They were smaller then. The only good thing about this is my Helen didn't bring them with her that night.
Man, that's fucked.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
Interesting, okay. I want to get at least something done this episode. I will go into the gardens.
Thelma Howcroft said she was being watched by vampire hunters. Where are they hiding?
It never ceases to amaze me.
Who are you?
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed.
Always a pleasure to meet a colleague, sir. Especially when he was supposedly dead.
A colleague? Are you a doctor too?
Not anymore, sir. I used to be Dr. Rakesh Chadana. Now, I'm just Mr. Chadana, pawnbroker and humble guardian of this morgue.
What do you mean, you used to be a doctor? Was your license revoked?
No, sir. It is just that I like to be precise. I run a little pawn shop while taking care of the dead. But I used to be a real doctor.
Please show me what you have to sell.
Of course. It's just trinkets and curios, really. But I'm sure they can be useful.
The form of written piece of paper seems complex and needs to be analyzed. Opium? I will buy this. This does seem interesting.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. Such a pleasure to see you again.
I do wanna...
Do you work here?
Yeah, I want to know a little
very
bit more.
easy work, sir. All I have to do is watch a few bodies. The situation was very different when the main morgue was still open.
Why do you have to watch these bodies?
Because these poor fellows have no names. We keep them in case someone comes looking for the missing. Sadly, very rarely happens.
Why close the hospital's main morgue?
It was for sanitary reasons after the beginning of the epidemic. Cadavers had to be moved to the nearest mass grave.
Are you afraid or uneasy being surrounded by so many corpses?
Why should I? These bodies are empty vessels. Flesh left to decay. Poof.
Excuse me.
No soul anymore. All gone.
How did you get this job?
After I left the army, I worked as an undertaker down by the docks. A dangerous place with many an unpleasant business there. Milton Hooks helped me get a job here.
An interesting point of view. And quite an exotic one, too. Most people fear, or at least have a respect, for dead flesh.
Sir, as a medic during the war, I learned to face my death and the death of others. It's the pain we have to tame, not death itself.
Interesting, okay.
Have we met before?
I don't think so, sir. Why?
When we first talked, you said you were glad to meet me since I was reported dead.
Funny story, sir. Your sister came here a few nights ago. You were missing, and she was looking for your body. She must be very relieved now.
Oh, no.
A pawnbroker? I expect you get all types of people here.
Yes, sir. All kind of people. For I sell all kind of goods.
Yeah, I've noticed.
Who comes here to trade with you? It's very unhygienic, even unsafe. Diseases can spread. For the customers, for the hospital.
I'm very cautious, sir. I've been a doctor, remember? And all my clients are good people. In fact, I think I only know good people.
What kind of goods?
With the quarantine, it's not always easy to buy things. So I trade, I exchange. Some people sell, some others buy. I like to help.
Interesting.
Since you're not afraid of dying, do you believe in life after death, Rakesh?
No. I believe we must do all the good we can while alive. For our time is short, and the obstacles are endless.
Do you think you would enjoy immortality as a concept?
I don't think so. Don't mistake me. I love life, and I'd like to live a long life. But everything has to decay, sir. Even goodwill.
Wise.
Do you really believe goodwill cannot last?
As I said, sir, everything decays. If I was to never die, goodness, I would be bored or worse. And I like to be helpful, sir.
Quite depressing, wouldn't you say?
Yes, but the good news is, we'll all die before losing our humanity, sir.
Oh boy,
so
yeah.
You're ready to die?
No, I am not. I don't fear death, for I won't see it. What troubles me is the pain my death will inflict to those I know.
You're a wise man, Mr. Chidana.
No, Dr. Reed. I am a foolish man. But I like to think otherwise.
Fair enough. Respect, my guy. We'll speak again later. Oh, I'm getting XP for like talking with them and stuff. Cool. Oh, wait, it is openable.
It's locked, all right.
Your city needs you. Your city needs you. Every life saved by efficient medical aid is blow struck to the heart of the flu epidemic. Volunteers make the difference. Inquire at the nearest appointments office of the Ministry of Labor and...
I managed to arrange to have you buried in the same mass grave as your wife.
I cannot enter.
Yeah, okay, it's the same one.
It's locked.
Okay, I am gonna go into the garden area and see what's up over there. Because I like doing side stuff.
It's locked, all right.
Public notice. Prevent influenza. Spanish. Cover each cough and sneeze with handkerchief. Walk to walk. Do not spit. Drink from your own cup. Avoid crowds. If taken ill, go to bed and send for a doctor. To make a mask, take a piece of ordinary cheesecloth 8 by 16 inches, fold it to make it 8 by 8 inches next, fold it to make 8 by 4 inches, V in the cords about 10 inches long at each corner. Apply over mouth and nose as shown in the picture, issued by the LLC Board of Health.
Scowl voices in the garden. I should investigate. If they were to find somebody...
Uh-oh, I forgot how to dodge. Uh-oh. I forgot how to play the game completely. I mean, he's not really trying to fight back, so, you know. Okay. Nothing here. Doesn't seem like... Oh, hold on. Anywhere else you want me to go? No? Okay. Also, let me... yeah. Actually, I'm gonna swap to something more... yeah, please give me this. Let's see, how much damage will this do? Not enough, but good enough for me. Okay, so I'm guessing this are not the only skulls in this area. Okay, that's 2 more down. Yeah, creepy buggers, aren't they? Anything here that I need to worry about? Okay, I just came back to from where I was earlier. Okay, I guess I just need to continue down this path. Oh! Photography in a wallet. A photography of a smiling and loving couple with a few words written on the back. Milton and Pippa forever.
So, Mr. Hooks and Nurse Hawkins are an item. Those two have hidden their affections well.
Oh, hello. Quarantine! Quarantine influenza. Keep out of this area. By order of Board of Health. Health Officer. Quarantine contagious disease. Blank. One shall enter or leave quarantine area without written blank of the local health authority. Blank. An authorized employee of the blank shall alter, destroy or remove this card. Blank. Violating this regulation will be fined. Oh, good thing I'm a bit beyond being fined. Man, what a beautiful city. Who was the... oh man, now I need to find this guy.
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
I have some good news, Milton.
What? The epidemic's over?
I retrieved your wallet.
That would be nice.
With all the money and a certain picture.
Well, yeah, Pippa Hawkins is my girl. So what? Is it the difference of skin colour that bothers you?
Not at all, Milton.
Good. Please, take this money anyway. To remind you to keep your mouth shut. Not everybody's as broad-minded as you, Dr. Reed.
What's going on between you and Nurse Hawkins?
Pippa's tired. Tired of all this shit. Tired of all those corpses piling up. She's as depressed as I am.
During the war, I witnessed a few couples just like you come together in difficult circumstances. It can be very damaging.
Maybe you're right.
Oh no, matchmaker Jonathan Reed.
And that's all that matters.
You do realize you could both get fired. Hospital staff are not meant to have intimate relationships with one another.
Come on, Dr. Reed. Do you know how many rules are broken in this hospital every day just to keep it running? There's nothing wrong with what we're doing.
If you say so.
Goodbye, Milton.
Nam. Okay. Are you Pippa?
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
There we go, yes. I have a question for you. Oh, we don't, apparently.
Pepper, I know you're very close to Milton Hooks.
Yes? Milton Hooks is my man. If you want to report me for that,
I
just
won't,
feel
don't
free,
worry.
Doctor.
I have no intention of reporting you, Nurse Hawkins. But are you aware of the risks?
The rules say I won't be allowed to work as a nurse anymore. But here at the Pembroke, we break rules all the time.
Is he worth the risk?
Hey, I'm no perfect woman, and Milton is not the finest bloke. But we do our best to get by. That's all any of us can hope for nowadays.
Yeah, fair enough. Any personal questions?
Goodbye,
Nope.
Nurse Hawkins.
Thank you for being very informative. Okay, they said I am on the second floor or something. Yeah, that must be my cabinet. Oh. What's this? Your new weapon. Let's go. Oh, sorry, wrong button. Your new weapon? A surgical hacksaw, able to cut through bone. T. Elwood's medical file. Patient, Thomas Elwood, male, age 28. Followed by Dr. Tippett's. Status, convalescence. Date of admission, September 16th. Date of release, to be determined. Notes: the patient's face has been heavily burnt and disfigured by a bomb during the war. Even with the use of the strongest sedatives, he affirms to regularly induce severe pain from the wounds, as if flames are still burning under the skin, he says. Examinations of the cicatrized tissues. I'm sorry if I butchered that. I have no idea how to pronounce that. Tissues show no trace of inflammation, infection, or swelling. Scars are clean. Could it be a case of persisting nerve damage? The patient never ceases to blame himself for his disfiguration. Could be a case of guilt of the survivor. Phantom pain manifesting as a punishment for not dying with his comrades. That's a bit grim, don't you think so? Ooh. Bottle of cheap gin. Okay.
It's locked.
No, this must be my office.
This must be the place. It's definitely away from prying eyes. Relegated to the shadows. A kingdom of my own.
A kingdom
At least
of my
I
own.
won't be sleeping in a coffin.
True. Better that than sleeping in a coffin. He's not wrong. Okay. Treatment for the cold, treatment for bronchitis, and for pneumonia. Generate 300 health points instantly, then 150 health points over 15 seconds. Okay. I need common trigger pads if I want to upgrade a gun. Plus vial. Okay.
William Bishop's blood is much more unstable than human blood, and the sun is about to rise. I can feel it. I'll continue tomorrow night. I have so much time now.
You really do. Article on econs. It is a rare opportunity and almost a privilege to approach a vampire to observe the most intriguing physical and psychological traits with a scientific and rational eye. Here are some of the most fascinating abilities I've personally observed over the last 10 years while interviewing a few vampires, or econ as they prefer to call themselves. Supernatural speed. A vampire can act and move like a mortal in all control his actions, but the trained eye will spot that they have the keenest senses and can react quicker than any mortal. On a few occasions, alarm, surprise, necessity to flee, I have seen a vampire move so quickly it is almost as if he had vanished just to reappear somewhere else. The human eye cannot follow their movements when they act so quickly, but it is also... but it is not a teleport or dematerialization. It is only a supernatural speed. For me, it is a cat-like attribute, which allows them to run, dodge, or jump longer and faster than us. I also noticed this, that such speed seems to exhaust them, and that they are bound to physical limitations. Mesmerism. One of the most powerful abilities a vampire can deploy is the capacity to force a mortal to obey them. I call this trait mesmerism, but it has nothing to do with the mortal ability to alter a subject's mental state. A vampire can bend a mortal to their will, and they can even break a mind. A vampire I interviewed even told me the more a subject tries to resist, the more permanent the damage will be, as if the vampire could literally fracture the target's psyche. The same vampire explained to me that the ability required time to master, and that the result could vary wildly from one subject to another. Implant a false memory, erase a painful one. The possibilities are endless and frightening. Blood awareness. This may be the most catastrophic ability of all concerning vampires, since it is the cause of so many tragedies for them and us. Vampires crave for blood. They must use their will to restrain themselves from frenziedly drinking every drop of blood they can see. They need blood to function and to express their full supernatural traits. A famished vampire can be very weak, and if he cannot die of hunger first, this need for blood may explain why a vampire is so aroused by it. A vampire confessed to me that blood could sometimes blind them, since its smell and attractiveness can be so strong. When he focuses, a vampire can almost see blood all around them, inside warm bodies, through walls, or a supposedly clean weapon, etc. The same vampire even told me that he can see if a mortal has clean blood. Why does this keep happening? If a mortal has clean blood or is ill, and that in some cases he can even sense disease, infected clothes, or even items in a room. If this is true, it could have so many medical applications, it almost beggars belief. Well, nice little office I've got here. Let's see, Jonathan. Can we upgrade anything? Okay, I should probably get more abilities. I have 900 XP. Wait, whoa. Vampire will concentrate on the prey's blood, stopping them in their tracks and making them defenseless. Is it? Yeah, true. Man, not enough XP. Oh, this could be fun. Let's get it. Now I have 300 left. Can I get another bite? Nope. You can now carry 3 serums on you. Sure. Oh, I didn't even notice this. Spring. You can perform a supernatural move to your target and cause damage upon landing. The common belief that vampires can disappear into thin air is misleading. Rather, they can greatly increase the speed with blood, moving so fast that to human eyes it appears as if they appear and reappear at will. Correctly used, this ability can be offensive or defensive, depending on the vampire's state of mind. It is easy to catch up on your prey with spring. It's almost boring when they start running away. Shadow Veil. The shadows help hide the vampire, turning them invisible to the uninitiated. In return, it drains the vampire's stamina if they move. Once the vampire's stamina is empty, they will become visible again. A useful tip, rookie: if you think you see something moving, shoot. Shoot? Shoot what? Just shoot. Interesting. Okay.
If I'm to stay here until my research is complete,
Chapter 2.
I'd better learn
White
to
coat.
hide my true nature from the mortals.
Okay, so the quest is help the Pembroke Hospital to cope with the epidemic. I have analyzed William Bishop's blood, but the result is only partial. The blood sample was much more unstable than human blood and showed heavy mutation, but this is not what happened to me. I must keep on researching. I need to gather more evidence of what is going on. The time may be on my side, but not on London's. The epidemic is killing thousands of people. The whole city is on the verge of collapse. I'm starting to believe all of this must be connected somehow. But I can't see any pattern or plausible explanation yet. For now, I must play the doctor and try to do my best to help those who may need me, while I continue my research.
But what about my thirst for blood?
Anyways, I think this is a wonderful time to end the episode, considering that, you know, we reached chapter 2. I'm sorry that this episode was so conversation heavy. We just were getting to we're just getting to know all of the new people in the hospital. Yeah. So anyways, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I personally just sorry. I just don't want her to speak over me. I'm sorry. Yes, so I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I personally enjoy this kind of dialogues because we get to learn a lot about the world, we get to learn about the characters that will be around us and stuff like that. If you did, please leave a like, comment and mention what you thought, and maybe even say who is your favorite person out of the church so far. Church? Why do I keep saying church? Out of the hospital so far. I'm sorry. It must be the Sean guy that's making me say church. So yeah. And I will see you in the next one.